All right, let's move right on then and put the spotlight on Coursera Inc. It's a US-based open online course provider. My colleague Sumita Karir caught up with the CEO of the company to talk about the role that AI and generative AI plays and how 6,000 courses now on Coursera are being translated into Hindi. Let's listen in.
Thank you very much, Jeff, for joining us from Davos 2024. So last few years, the conversations have been around Bitcoin, pizzas, NFTs, and the likes, including crypto as well. I want to understand from you what kind of conversations are dominating this year, especially because AI is something that's been predominant everywhere.
Well, so far, Davos has been really excellent. Clearly, there's so many things happening around the world today. There's both conflict and there are also promising opportunities. There is a huge focus on AI, as you say, and there's some folks really focusing on the opportunities. And there's other folks focusing more on the threats and the disruption, both threats in terms of data security, privacy, bias, inaccuracies, negative impacts and disparate impacts on certain populations. But also there's a threat of a greater digital divide. And what most people are saying is that education will be the difference between generative AI being an opportunity and generative AI being a threat.
All right, so interesting times ahead so far as AI is concerned. But now let me come to Coursera. In fact, speaking of your India business, your learners base grew at 23.4 million in 2023, which is second only to the United States. And India has been hailed as a bright spot in global economy all of 2023. And starting 2024, conversations are centered around that as well. So I want to then understand that does India then become a country of significance for Coursera?
Yeah, for sure. Now, we grew to 22 million people, about 23%. So not 23 million people, but India is second only to the United States in the number of learners learning on Coursera. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in Chennai at the Global Investor Summit. And then last week, I was in Delhi announcing that 6,000 courses on Coursera are now translated into Hindi. And the way that we've done this is by using AI. So AI can help translate courses. It can also help deliver personalized tutoring through something that we call Coach. So we think that the AI opportunity and the talent, the young talent that is in India is going to combine to provide not just educational opportunities, but career opportunities to jobs not only in India, but jobs around the world. I believe that India will be the greatest exporter of talent globally than any other country in the world.
So India being second only to the United States in terms of courses and, of course, learning on your platform. I want to now then understand what's the global outlook that you have and what is the India outlook you have. So tell us the outlook, for instance, that you have from the Western markets like United States, UK, and India.
In terms of number of learners, certainly, without a doubt, there will be more learners joining Coursera from India than any other country. That's for sure. It might be the case that India will surpass Europe, all of Europe, in terms of number of learners. You know, we just launched recently an IIT Guwahati Bachelor's of Science with honors in data science and AI. It's doing extremely well. So anyone who lives in India in any city can take this online degree program from IIT Guwahati. And we have a Bachelor's of Science with honors in computer science from BITS Pilani. So it's not just online courses, it's also these top tier blue chip degree programs that are now available for only $4,000 to any learner in India. So there's a wonderful opportunity for learning in India, and that's going to be our top market.
All right, so personalized tutoring in the space of AI will be a game changer for edtech. That's the word coming in from Coursera. Jeff, I want to now understand, other than this, what kind of efficiencies will AI unleash as far as the edtech sector is concerned? Because the sector has seen a dip in funding, not just this sector, but overall the startup sectors. Overall, there's been, conservative investments. Will the onset of AI or generative AI reverse that trend of conservative investments?
I do. I think there's a little bit of a difference between investing in edtech for K through 12 for young children and young adults, and I think there's a difference between that and then adults. Some people call it lifelong learning. But the reason I think there's going to be so much demand for the adult education is because this technology is changing so fast. It will change the tasks that people do in their jobs. It'll automate many tasks. It'll free people up to do new tasks that are valuable. And as the CEO and the CFO, this is according to BCG, 90% of CEOs and executives put generative AI training as a top priority for their company. So yes, I think that edtech is going to rebound a bit because of the training needed to train people on generative AI.
All right, so that sounds interesting. The other side of AI is around jobs and job losses and what will be the jobs of the future. In fact, some startups here in India have already started laying off people due to AI-related redundancies. What is going to be Coursera's future as far as its hiring outlook in 2024 is concerned, especially for the India market?
Yeah, well, we are investing significantly in our team in India. Today, we have 250 to 300 people that are in India in 26 different cities in India, because when you work for Coursera, you can work from anywhere. So we do have about 30 people in Bangalore and 100 people in Delhi, but we have people all over India because you can work remotely. The quality of the talent, the culture that is built around the people, no matter what city that they're working in for Coursera, and of course the affordability of that talent, when you think about the quality, is just the best in the world. And so we are going to be building a much bigger team in India, and it's not just in back office. We're talking about front-end web development, designers, finance, strategy, sales, marketing, across the board. We're building. The substantial majority of our new hires are going to be in India.
Right, so interesting times ahead. There are challenges in edtech, but these are not going to, remain for a very long time. And of course, edtech will come back in a big way. This is what essentially you are saying. Interesting times ahead, Jeff. But one final question before we let you go. Globally, the venture capital funding in 2023 was down across the board. But like I said, education was a bit harder than, some of the other sectors. So I want to understand what really are VCs looking at before investing in edtech companies. And is the trend of conservative investments, is that reversing anytime, especially this year?
So in my career, I've been a CEO for 27 years. Across the couple of companies I've worked for, I've raised 12 rounds of financing. And what VCs are looking for is an opportunity to invest where there's a very large market, good economics, usually unit economics on acquisition cost and the marginal cost of delivery, where there is competitive advantage. They also want to get a return on their money, and that usually requires an exit, which is going to be either an IPO or an acquisition. When the size and likely revenue growth rates are a little bit more questionable, when the exits in IPOs and M&A is looking a little more questionable, many VCs pull to the side. But I would suggest that this is a temporary phenomenon. The fundamental economic opportunity, the fundamental workforce advantages that India have, to me, suggest for sure India will be back when it comes to edtech.
All right, so ending on a positive note, you're saying that edtech will bounce back due to the training needed for adult professionals across industries. On that note, thank you very much, Jeff, for joining us here on ET Now from Davos. Appreciate your time.
All right, on that note then, we'll call it a day on this leg of the show. Thanks so much for tuning in.